We are halfway into the month of July. It's just dang in the middle, the 15th. Good morning and welcome to a wonderful Monday morning episode of Wake Up Nigeria.
Now, from the bustling heart of Lagos to the far corners of the globe, we are here to brighten your day and kickstart your work week with a splash of goodness and inspiration. Wow.
That is the lineup for you today. Inspiration, motivation, and all of that. SME, of course, there will still be entertainment because we can't do without the performance on Wake Up Nigeria. That's all that we have extra special for you on the day.
Now, have no doubt, we have so much in line for you. I know for sure that Winfrey is somewhere around. You'll see her in a bit. And then we should also tell you that you should follow us across all social media platforms at TVC Entertainment _. That's on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, everywhere.
Yeah, you just call Winfrey's name now and the legal luminary just wish she wasn't here. But hey, come on. Of course, if you are watching via DTT, that will be GOTV 16. And then if it's a terrestrial, that will be the ultra high frequency. The band is 49.
Yeah.
And yeah, use the hashtag WakeUpNigeriaontvc across all these platforms to interact with us.
That's right. Now, let's tell you what we have in store for you on the show today. Okay?
We would have an amazing performance from Zikon. Zikon. Yeah. Well, he will be here to perform, and I'm looking forward to that one.
Now, for motivation this morning, we have Dr. Francis Adeshino, the founder of the Mind Factory, and he'll be discussing something to motivate us this morning. We're actually looking forward to that. The power of the mind, bending realities. Yeah, that's what we'll be talking about.
And of course, we will have SME on the show this morning. Agnes will be the visionary creative director of Peaches Apparels, an African fashion brand that seamlessly merges style and comfort for the modern woman. Are you modern? Well, well, well. Even if you are ancient, this clothes will make you modern.
Seriously, Mike? All right.
Please, what are you up to, Mike?
It's a beautiful
What's
shoot,
going
by the
on?
way.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome, Winfrey. Good morning.
Mike.
Thank you. Good morning,
So, how was
Mike.
weekend for you guys, yo? How was this week? It was a cold weekend. And then even this morning, some places started seeing this thing.
Yeah, drizzles. And
Yeah, drizzles.
annoyingly enough, I finally caught the cold I was avoiding.
Yeah, that you
Aggressive.
So I took some of your this day, although I was unable to do it because you know, humidity. I've not yet washed all the cottons, but then you know, if you can, especially the couch.
Yeah, the couch and the rugs,
Couch, oh, that's
right?
the major. That's the major challenge. What do I do? Do I take off the whole wrapper? What do I do?
Vacuum.
You dust
Vacuum
it,
it.
right?
Vacuum
Yeah,
it.
you have to.
Vacuum
Yeah.
it. Let
Vacuum
suck
now,
out the
but
dust.
I don't get big one. I don't want to connect to a small vacuum there. So, but I go try. I'll see what I can do with that vacuum.
Well, the weekend for me was amazing, explosive as well. A lot happened. In fact, at some point, I was like, gosh, it's like this weekend is so packed. However, the highlight for me, I know you'll be talking about it during the beautiful game, is, of course, the
Spain and
final.
Winfrey, you are going to be my guest today.
I literally was
Spain
speaking to my mother.
inflicted so much pain
Yeah.
on England yesterday. It was really sad to see the England fans going home. The English folks were definitely unhappy. And then, of course, Argentina winning Copa America. However, the major highlight, which was milked for all it's worth, was the Trump incident, the shooting. I don't know, did you see it? There's no way you couldn't have seen it.
Of course I saw it. It was all over the place. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All the propaganda and all of that.
Yeah, you know, it was intriguing to say the least. I mean, he cut his ear came down, and then there was blood and all of that. And it seemed like
Cut his ear.
yeah, he held the ear, and so it seemed like something out of a movie, sort of.
That's all.
And then when you look at a 20-year-old shooter, and then you're wondering about the gun regulations in the US and all of that.
Yeah.
But I mean, there were wishes from past presidents, from the current president, and all of that, and they all came together to condemn gun violence.
Yeah, of course, definitely.
What I find intriguing, though, is how that guy entered that place. People saw him holding a rifle, and he managed to still climb on a roof, and he managed to do it. It's making many people wonder if there's more to the story than we actually know, even though it's been confirmed that he's a Republican. But there are actually so many questions being asked because of all this little facts. And then even Trump, like, I worried for him. He thought maybe it was a bee that stung him. I don't know if you saw the way he was still like, what's this? And then realized he was seeing blood. That was when he went down. Yeah. It was really scary.
Yeah, of course.
Unfortunately, someone died, and a couple of folks were wounded. Really sad.
The news on Wake Up Nigeria. I am Mike Messikeno. Operatives of a National Drug Law Enforcement Agency have intercepted various quantities of cocaine and opioids concealed in soles of shoes, clothes, and other items. The seized items were to be shipped to the United States, United Kingdom, and Cyprus. More in this package.
No less than 250 grams of cocaine going to Cyprus was hidden in soles of custom-made shoes, while 5 kilograms of opioids heading to the US and UK were discovered by officers in clothes and household items meant to be shipped through some courier firms in Lagos. In the same vein, a consignment of 440 grams of loud, a synthetic strain of cannabis from Canada, was equally intercepted by operatives in one of the logistic companies in Lagos State. Meanwhile, NDLEA operatives in Edo State searched the luggage of one of the occupants in a commercial bus traveling to Abuja and found 3,000 pills of tramadol buried in custard powder. In another operation, operatives raided the Ohe forest in Edo State and destroyed about 5,000 kilograms of cannabis on a 2,918 hectares of farmland, while 4 suspects were arrested. In Ogun State, operatives recovered a total of 2,865 kilograms of cannabis at Afami Beshi. In Borno State, at least 2,455 kilograms of materials for the production of Akushura, a new psychoactive substance, were recovered from a warehouse in Kanduga town. The following day, officials in Katsina State arrested a 54-year-old with 47 kilograms of cannabis in Katsina town.
And still on updates on the attempted assassination on former President of the United States, Donald Trump, President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris insist violence as such has no place in the United States and must be condemned by everyone. World leaders also expressed their support for the former president who escaped death at his presidential rally in Pennsylvania. The former President Barack Obama, in a tweet, says there is absolutely no place for political violence in the U.S. democracy. George Bush says that he is grateful that Trump is safe following the cowardly attack on his life. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and the President of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro, also condemned the attack, praying for his safety. And President Bola Tinubu also condemned the assassination attempt, describing the attack as distasteful in a statement on X. The president said, quote, "I extend my sympathies to the former president and wish him relief. I also condole with the family of the deceased and those wounded and wish them a quick recovery." End of quote.
The 13th of July, 2024, is one day that cannot leave American and global history. Former U.S. President and Republican presidential candidate for the November 2024 election, Donald Trump, survived an assassination attempt during his campaign in Butler, Pennsylvania. As he was speaking to a large crowd, shots rang out, sparking panic in the crowd, with Secret Service agents swarming around the former president. Mr. Trump emerged with a bloody face, saying he was shot in the ear. He said he heard wheezing sound and felt a bullet ripping through his skin. Donald Trump has returned to his home in New Jersey. On the flip side, the FBI has identified the gunman in the shooting as 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks. He has been shot and killed by the Secret Service. Thomas Matthew Crooks is a resident of Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, about 35 miles south of Butler, where Donald Trump was holding his rally. Records reveal he was registered to vote as a Republican. As former President Donald Trump's assassination attempt raises questions on U.S. security efficiency, the main investigative board of the U.S. House of Representatives, the Oversight Committee, has summoned U.S. Secret Service Director Kimberly Chittle to testify at a hearing on the 22nd of July, 2024. The panel said in a statement on social media that Americans demand answers about the assassination attempt. At a news conference earlier, the FBI special agent Kevin Rojek said, quote, "It is surprising that the gunman was able to open fire on the stage before the Secret Service killed him."
It's still an active crime scene. As I mentioned, we have a number of agents on scene. We also are working closely with other federal agencies, our state partners, and our local police partners as well.
Meanwhile, the President of the United States, Joe Biden, has condemned the attack on former President Donald Trump, calling on all Americans to denounce what he described as sick violence that must be condemned.
And that's it on the news for the hour. We'll take a recess and we'll be back with What's Up and About.
All right.
Quite interesting things I saw over the weekend, and this one really got to me because there's one or two things I might want to say. Someone made a post about an elderly man who came to clean the windshield of a car, and then he made a statement while making this video. He said, "Hustle when you dey young, go so that you know go day like this when you don't old and all of that." Even though later on he went further on to say something that seemed like sense, because he went on to say, "Oh man, life happens," you know. But then the premise of his of that video that was put up was more or less like you should do better when you are younger, so that when you're old you don't have to do like this. And it just made me wonder how myopic people can be, because someone said the older you get, the more you know that you don't really know anything about this life. The older you get, and yeah, that has to be a very young person or somebody who was not really seeing stuff, because man, there's just so much. I remember one of my best experiences ever in traffic, and this time I was not just the windshield. It was traffic in the night. There were two boys. They washed the whole car while I was moving. Like, my mind was blown. I was like, wait, do you know that this can even be very big?
And some of them will even wash the tires better than when you take it to
windshield. And then while the windshield was going on, you know, before I go say Jack Robinson, they were washing the whole car. And this was like 7 p.m. It was night. So I was just... I was just like,
even if you didn't want to give them anything, yourself, your conscience
like,
didn't allow you.
Oh, come on now. I don't even know if I had so much. I almost felt like I could collect their numbers or something. My mind was blown. It seemed even like a business opportunity. Wonderful one. You know, you have drive-bys where you just enter and then everything. And I'm talking about this one is original like drive-by on the express. Like, you just enter, boom,
There's one they do at churches too. You enter, you park your car, you go to serve. By the time you're coming, your car is neat.
You know,
in and
out, yeah.
As in you
leave your kid out.
Okay,
you know,
they're there because they know they want to come back next week. So.
But you see, with the case of this gentleman, this wonderful gentleman, and then it was the way the driver spoke to the man. You know, even though when I don't want these people to clean the car, I almost try to beg them, because I know that, I mean, nobody would want to. They're not even trying to do something wrong, you know. A lot of things go through my mind, but even the way the driver responded to the man and all of that, and the myopic nature of such a comment from the young man and all that, just made me know that, look,
that word you used is myopic is actually very powerful, and it goes beyond this. I know some people who treat people based on what they've received from them. not what that person is as a human being. You treat them badly or you treat them in a funny manner simply because you haven't received something from them. You forget that life is a circle. It comes around. Where you are today is not where you might be in 10 years' time. There are people who have tasted riches. I'm deliberately using that word tasted. They've tasted it because they've enjoyed it and they did not live their life badly. One bad investment can turn you from the top of a ladder to even inside a pit, the level of which the person will fall. Just one bad investment, and that's life.
Sometimes it's one bad friend.
Or one bad friend. Or one bad choice.
One bad choice.
Exactly. You know, and the person is finished.
This thing is so personal because you see, life is a leveler. You see the funny thing here?
Life is a leveler,
I looked at this and I looked at this man, I looked at this statement. I was like, look, you don't even know if you even live up to that man's age. You don't even know if by the time you get to that man's age, if you even be mobile. I mean, the other day, we're celebrating the Nobel laureate, 90 years. There are people who have not gotten to half of his age and they are bedridden. And they say, it's like, this life no gets manual. And
exactly.
They say that thing. See, a person's character is revealed in the way they treat what you call the janitor or the cleaner somewhere. How do you really, do you think that they are lower class citizens because they are doing something that you think you're higher than?
So on that point now, I'm actually going to say this. So interestingly, I was having a conversation with a friend of mine. We're talking about, I mean, the difference between, I mean, living here past a certain age, retirement age, let's say 65, 70, and then living abroad past a certain age, right? So here, we know that fine, when people start getting to retirement age, probably 65, 70, thereabout, they literally just stay at home most times. Maybe some of them have businesses here and there. But over there, that's not the case. You literally go to the airport and see old people trying to drag your luggage, or you literally go to hotels, you see elderly people, 70, 75, sometimes even 80, trying to clean, trying to make coffee and all of that. If you literally sit down and ask about how much these guys are worth, you'll be blown away. So they actually do these things to stay active,
busy.
To stay busy. Do you understand? So it's not as if they don't just want to sit down, because we all know if you don't use it, you lose it. So these people are literally trying to keep their minds busy, keep their bodies active and all of that, and they get into all these menial jobs just for the heck of it. Most times these people actually make interactions with people, they get talking, you're literally blown by, okay, see the guy that is trying to drag your luggage at your hotel and all of that. This guy probably has like his net worth, you cannot even reach there, do you understand, in 3 lifetimes. So it's just the idea, exactly as you said, myopic mindset, thinking, okay, because someone is literally doing something you see as a basic job or basic menial job, you see the person as not worthy. Now, let's bring it down.
This menial job you mentioned.
Yeah.
If you go, see, don't be deceived though. Most of those you buy things from on the road.
Do you understand? Even
they have money.
Even the beggars. We're not talking about beggars are using money and begging money to build house and build this thing.
All this,
don't get it twisted, yo.
Corn sellers, plantain sellers, they have money. The problem with people is you are judgmental. People choose to live their lives the way they want to. It might be something they just do for a hobby. So someone has her children abroad and she has a small kiosk that she's selling odd items. And so because of that, you look at her like, at your age, is this what you are doing? Somebody that could change your life. And really, you shouldn't do it because the person can change your life.
Yeah.
Some people simply do not do
That's
things for recognition. They don't do it so you can praise them or anything. They are just living their lives the way they see it.
Yeah, so now this is my point on that, right? My point on that is that why does respect or value for another person have to be based on how much they have?
Help me ask them.
I think that is actually even my own general question, take away from
or what you've collected.
You're a human being, you're a human being. Whatever you have is a blessing. Do you understand? Whether it's the idea to make money or whatever. Why is that? Should that be the reason why you respect or disrespect another person?
And the person that has the money will not treat you as well as the person who doesn't
have.
And you don't know what the future holds. Remember, elephant brain. Many people don't forget.
Let's move on.
This life will teach you. That's also life. By the time you get to a particular, nobody will tell you. Yeah. But the thing is that there are so many people that will not be there for that lesson. I remember this thing strongly because it came to me and then someone said something and I'm trying to, when you get big, ensure that the people around you also grow with you. Because the day of tribulation will come. It will come. It will come. All right. Share your thoughts. Share your thoughts. Use our comment section and use the hashtag WakeUpNigeriaontvc. We'll be back after this very short time after.
Thank you so much for staying with us on this beautiful, beautiful Monday morning right here on Wake Up Nigeria. It's time for us to see what we have on the covers of the dailies. And doing justice with me on this, I have our in-house analyst, Mike Mesigeno.
I put it to you that I am not in-house analyst.
Mike, how you doing?
I'm good.
All right, so we're starting today off with the Vanguard, and therefore the major headlines we have: consumer spending down as Nigerians remain gloomy on economy. We have that on page 23, and for the writers we have weak spending triggers decline in e-payment transactions. Value of e-payments falls 5.7% to 92.8 trillion naira. Firms reduce output expansion due to low consumer spending. And below there we have, in the purple box, we have Samoa agreements. Ombudsman begins probe of federal government's complaints against Daily Trust. We have that on page 8. NBA gives IG 7 days to stop CMR certificate insurance. We have on page 8. UK court dismisses P&ID appeal. Upholds £43 million award in favor of Nigeria. We have that on page 8. Trump assassination attempts. Tinubu world leaders call shooting distasteful. We have that on page 5. And of course, we have for Sports Day on page 40, Euro 2024, Spain heap 2-1 pain on England. Mike, what piques your interest?
I mean, everything is all about the economy.
Yeah.
And of course, we know we've spoken about spending power. People that I know would buy 1 crate of egg a week now. They're now doing half. In fact, this was Friday when I was talking about it. And spending power, it's down. We all need something, and we all need to look up. But I don't know if it's in any of the headlines. There was also something I saw concerning the new Dangote refinery and all of that we probably would see in 1 or 2 other papers. But yes, it's all about the economy. It's all about the outlook, and hopefully the president and his team, they need to get on this as ASAP, because I know now we are back to importing.
Yes.
Because of the food shortage, as it were.
Yes.
So not to get us in this place whereby you have the money to go and buy food and you don't see the food to buy, you know. But it's not the best. We should talk about security for farmers, for farmlands, and ensuring that we get our food. But, you know, it's just that at some time, some of these stopgap measures or these quick fixes tend to extend. The whole concept of subsidy, it started as a short fix. Let's spend 12 months, 18 months and fix this thing, and then we'll subsidize. And today is over 20-something years.
Yes.
You know, so
and we're trying to remove it, it refuses to remove.
So you see, we need to put our acts together.
Yeah. So I mean, concerning the economy and of course spending, I remember listening to the news yesterday, talking about how the spending power of households have literally dropped from 70-something, about 72-74% to 50%. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that people are spending less. It literally means that people can afford to spend less, right? So even where people were spending like a higher amount on like more things, now what they literally can afford to spend, I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
now reduced.
Yeah, it's now reduced.
Even if it's the same amount. So it's not even as like the spending power is dropping.
That you
it's just exactly. That the prices are increasing. So you're spending. It's just.
I want to say 1 million now. Don't be like 10K.
Yeah. So it's just. I mean, the dynamics of everything affecting everything. Anyways, let's move on to the New Telegraph right now for the major headlines there on insecurity. We have military security agencies must develop human intel's network. Ex-DSS directors, and on the right, for the writers there, we have capacity, not intelligence, lacking. Ejiofor as Amekri warns Boko Haram terrorists returning to suicide bombing. And at the top of the paper there, we have hardship. Consumer loan surge by 44.98% to 3.82 trillion naira. And below there on the strip, we have cooking gas price rises as 12.5 kg refill hits 14,500. And we have a number of other headlines there. Below the image there, we see Dangote conglomerate project, $30 billion revenue in 2025. Cement Koi generated for $3.3 billion revenue in 2023. We have that on page 3. To the right of that, we have local governments, long walk to financial autonomy. On the strip there, we have study links, quality sleep to reduce loneliness. Yeah, so we have a number of all of that to the side there. So, Mike, which of these?
Oh, of course, military security agencies must develop human intel network. It's like the basic, is the bread and butter of security.
Yeah.
And that's talking about intelligence.
Of course.
We call it intelligence. That means, so we're talking about the assassination attempt. Now, do you know that even when that guy was entering into the arena, the DSS already had tips on. Yes, they already had dabs on him. In fact, they already mentioned him as a person of interest that should be watched.
Yeah.
So even on that place, as much as immediately the shots went out in less than about 7 seconds, they had gotten him down. Yes. He could have even, it's just that at times there might be so many. He was not the only person of interest. There might be so many and it was hard. But you see,
all of them were, they were looking out for all the people there that literally had certain records. And of course, I think that just shows the play of proactivity, right? When you're literally proactive, you're not waiting for it to happen. You already have your suspect.
So it's the same thing when it comes to terrorism and banditry in this place. Intelligence well done beforehand would really see those things drastically reduced.
Yes, yes, of course. And so let's move quickly on to the Daily Trust here. For the major headlines, we have 6 years after Abuja-Kaduna road project uncompleted. Below that, we have myriad of potholes causing vehicles crashes. Commuters demand urgent government action to be completed in 12 months. We have that from Works Minister. Below there, we have the same. NNPCL now owns only 7.2% of Dangote refinery. That comes from Aliko. Victims narrate ordeals after school residential building collapse in Jos, Abuja. Mike, I'm hoping that the NNPCL was the one you were looking forward to.
Concerning what?
Yeah. So the refinery.
Okay.
So
yes. The talk is that he would source crude oil from the rest of Africa and even outside the continent. And that is sad. He has spoken about how hard it has been.
Yes.
How there have been some people who are sabotaging. Sabotage as well, trying to ensure that this thing doesn't get, available and cheap.
Yes.
That means, and this understated it when he made mention that he would have to source for crude oil from Brazil and then even outside Nigeria. And we are one of the top oil producers in the world. I felt a rumble in my tongue when I read that thing, and it wasn't a good one.
Yeah, I think that just goes to show that despite the fact that people are putting efforts into making things better with regards to certain things in the country, infrastructure, things like this crude oil and all of that, some people are literally standing for personal gains, right? But I think what actually even catches my eye most is the fact that, NNPCL literally owned 20% of like literally the refinery and all of that. But then again, it dropped to 7.2% due to failure to pay.
Meet up
for June and all of that. So now, I don't know, I don't think that is a good sign. But then again, let's hope that somehow, somewhere along the line, things are literally rectified, and I hope they will definitely be given the opportunity to literally purchase more of the shares as before. All right, and I think that's all we'll be taking for the major headlines here on this episode of Wake Up Nigeria. Mike?
Yeah, I mean, looking at it and all that, like what's spoken and all of that, I hope this refinery thing comes to happen, because, our lifeblood is fuel.
Yeah.
That's what drives us. But then if we had power more, that's what
of course.
Would focus more on reducing our usage of fuel, even though generally, like we mentioned, spending power, a lot of things that we are using less fuel now because people are finding ways to go around it.
Yeah, of course. So that's all we'll be taking on the newspaper headlines for today. Thanks for staying with us. Still so much more happening right here, Wake Up Nigeria. Do stay with us. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. If you are just joining us, well, you've missed 1 hour. Not to worry. We've still got a wonderful 45 minutes for you on this magic that we've set up today, which is Wake Up Nigeria.
We're so glad to know you're still tuned in. Yes, the first hour was packed with excitement. And we've got even more coming your way this hour.
Talking about excitement, Mary, I had a wonderful weekend. This was Friday.
Okay.
So I go to a stand. I want to buy some meat.
Okay.
Just nice
Meat.
suya and chicken suya, normal suya.
Enjoy
Why your body shaking like this? It's not chocolate.
Like middle of the month, you still have money. Continue.
So, so I went there. I met this wonderful, wonderfully pleasant young man. Prosper, that's his name. And then, you know, he said he was trying to remember me. I said, no, it's my brother. Because what I always do, I'm not always the best when you see me outside there. But he was so happy to see me. And then he told me about how his mom loves the show. And I want to give a big shout out to Mrs. Lydia Owa and Prosper. Prosper paid for all my meat and, of course, told me that his mom loves the show so much.
Aww.
And so I just want to say thank you so much, Prosper. Thank you very much, Mrs. Lydia Owa, for being a part of our family. We really appreciate you.
Indeed.
We're getting ready to our 7th anniversary.
We love you so much, Mrs. Lydia Owa. Thank you.
So maybe we'll just put up something that a lot of you, our family out there, can be a part of. All right?
Yes.
Let's get straight to what we have left on.
Yes, so let's tell you what we have for you this hour. I know a lot has happened in the previous hour. So this hour, we definitely are bringing you a performance, okay? So we've got Abiodun Emmanuel Ayero, a.k.a. Zycon, and he's going to be performing for us this morning.
Oh, yeah. We're looking forward to that one. And then for a motivation, we have Francis Additional, the founder of the Mind Factory, a human transformational platform with a mission to champion the community of Africa's next action leaders. And our topic today is the power of the mind, bending realities and doing impossible.
Finally, on SME segment is Agnes Obi, the visionary creative director of Peaches Apparels. She'll be talking to us about her business and everything you need to learn about it as well. Welcome to the kitchen right here on Wake Up Nigeria. Yes, we are definitely having breakfast today, and it will be prepared for us by Chef Dotun, aka Chef Amin. I think we should stick to Chef Amin. I like that one, Chef Amin. All right, so Chef Amin has breakfast for us this morning. What are we having?
Okay, we'll be having vegetable rice with stir-fried chicken.
Vegetable rice with stir-fried chicken.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about the ingredients. What are we making use of?
Okay, we're making use of the red bell pepper, yellow bell pepper, the green pepper, some cucumber, and the major likely the ingredient, which is the paprika, the smoked one. We have seasonings, and we have blended sesame oil and normal vegetable oil.
Okay, so smoked paprika.
Yeah.
What is wrong in using the regular paprika, the redder one?
Okay, you know, most times when you talk to your client that they need jollof rice, they'll tell you we need the smoky jollof rice. So actually, it's not about the jollof rice to get burnt, but because of the ingredient and the spices and the herb you're going to use in cooking the jollof rice, that will give you the smoky jollof rice.
And smoked paprika is actually a secret ingredient. Many people don't even know.
Exactly.
Yes, so you could take note of it, even though we're not making jollof rice this morning. But smoked paprika works wonders in your jollof rice. It does. Okay, so besides this, we're also making use of
making use of the basmati rice, and I have a soft chicken.
Yes, so
I have to work with the soft chicken.
Okay, so for you, how long do you boil your soft chicken?
So because it's still going to go through stir frying, so you're going to take like maybe 10 minutes. Since it is soft chicken, you understand? Even in the normal process, at least if you want to eat it after boiling, it's just like 15 minutes.
Okay, run us through the process. What are we going to do?
So first thing we need to do is we're going to stir fry these vegetables and set it aside with the sesame oil. Then we're going to be using the normal vegetable oil to stir fry the chicken while the rice is getting ready. So at the time the rice is getting ready, we have to incorporate everything together in a pot, and we mix it up, and we're done.
So this is supposed to be towards the end?
Yeah, this is going to be towards the end.
Just for that smoky flavor?
Exactly.
Okay, so the chicken, when it's boiled, that means we're going to cut it into small pieces?
Yeah, you have two ways to do it. We are going to debone, then you can use it like a shredded chicken, or you make it a cube chicken.
All right, so let's get started with the stir fry itself.
All right. Okay.
So we're going to let this continue to cook. Yeah, right here. So we'll just move this up here, and then we'll do our stir fry here, so you can have easy access.
Thank you.
Okay, so first things first.
We're going to...
You're using the sesame oil as a base?
Yeah, as a base.
Okay. Okay, I actually thought you were going to make use of the vegetable oil.
No, that would go for the chicken.
Okay, because sesame oil has strong flavors. And it works magic in food as well. There's something, for those who are trying to ditch MSG, you could actually learn how to use your spices well, and you'll be amazed by what you can achieve with your food. Let's take a look at the ingredients on our screen right now. Okay, so we'll check out what we are making use of this morning. So you can scribble them down. Vegetable rice with stir-fried chicken breast. We're making use of basmati rice. We're using chicken breast, red bell pepper, green pepper, spring onions, sesame oil, vegetable oil, seasoning, corn flour, and smoked paprika. Now, if I have regular paprika and I do not want to have to buy smoked paprika, how can I create this? Because I know something about spices. It's possible to make something with your current spice as long as you know the right spice mix. Exactly. So how can I achieve this?
So there is no two ways you can achieve this, because actually the paprika goes through the first process of drying. After dehydration, then we have to grill it. So the grilling part with the charcoal will give you the aroma of that smoke combined with the paprika itself. So the normal paprika will only give you something like a reddish color, which is like a family of red color, but this is actually looking like more like a thyme.
Okay, so can I char this myself? Like
yeah, you can.
If I have red paprika, can I char it, like use a dry pan, the way we do when we want to make egusi?
You can, but it's not going to give you the smoked. Because the smoke has to come with the charcoal. You know, basically in abroad we have different flavor of charcoal that we buy, but not in Nigeria, because I worked there for 2 years. So anytime you want to smoke a steak meat, you use a different flavor of charcoal. And if you are doing fish, use another different flavor of charcoal. So most times it is not what you are rubbing on the steak meat or the fish that actually gives that aroma, but the charcoal that is giving the heat. So
I know someone told me once about flavored charcoal, and I was like, what are you talking about? Then the day I got to try it, I was amazed. I don't know. Is there a process to it? Have you ever had to make it yourself?
Well, you can make it yourself, but it takes a little bit time for you to get the accurate flavor charcoal. You get our regular charcoal, then you have to buy the industrial flavors, which is food flavors. It's not the normal regular flavors that are used in order to say. It has to be edible. So you kind of have some other chemical which is edible as well that you have to soak it with the flavor in order to get that aroma that you need.
I'm saying this because there's somebody out there thinking of a business idea, one that has to do with food. This is something you might find
and also you have to dehydrate after then you have to put in a Ziploc or a seal nylon so that the aroma won't lose from the charcoal. So then you can use it anytime you want to use it.
So far so good. All we have there is the bell peppers. Is there a reason you didn't put the
if you stir fry a green, especially the green pepper, it loses its color. So it's always good to add at the end of your meal when it's still warm or hot. Especially also with spring onions. You don't add spring onions from the beginning of your cooking. It's when you are maybe like 90% done, then you can add in your spring onions.
There's a craze about cucumbers now. So when you mentioned cucumbers, I had to do a double take because I was wondering, are we having stew? Then I remember, no, it's not stew, it's stir-fried. So these cucumbers are also another fantastic ingredient. In fact, I made curry sauce this morning. And while I was making it, I said to myself, I wish I had cucumbers. Because cucumbers are the you need in your meal these days. There's just something they do, the watery taste. So it just adds one sweetness to the meal.
And also it has a good nutrient.
Yes, it does. It does. As a matter of fact, it does. Okay, so you just seasoned it, right?
Exactly.
Okay. The entire cooking process takes how long?
So for these, after you prep, the major thing about cooking is for you to prep. So if you have all this in your freezer or your fridge, maybe like the cut vegetables already, so it takes you less than 35 minutes to do.
Okay, I can bet. Okay, I shouldn't bet. That the chicken is ready. So let's see what you're going to do with it. How are you going to shred it? I can help you continue with this.
I'm going to turn it off.
Okay, great. So we're going to shred the chicken right now. And yes, you have to protect your. Okay. Should I put that up?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to shred the chicken right away. So this is. So
if you notice, I didn't add salt or seasoning to the boiling because you don't want to over season the meal. So you have to be careful doing that.
So this is what your seasoned chicken would look like. Your boiled chicken would look like. Your soft chicken that has not been seasoned at all. This is exactly what it will look like. So let's get this ready for the stir fry. Okay. right. So you're making use of cutlery instead of knife?
Yeah.
Or
it will be easier to tear apart with, especially with the fork.
Okay. Some of us, we use our hands.
Yeah, you can, but it's hot.
Wait for it to cool. Okay. Okay. Let's see you do this.
Okay.
I want to see the shape of chicken you're going to decide upon.
So I probably might try to use 2 style.
Okay, 2 styles, okay.
Yeah. Which
Let's
is...
see. Style 1.
Is it shredded?
Okay. There are people who do not eat skin, chicken skin.
Yeah.
And there are people I like to be around because I like helping them eat it.
Okay.
E.g. my mom.
Wow.
There's some people that actually do not like it. They just don't. I hear because of the fat content within.
Yes, but most times the fact still remains that there are some nutrients that are also, you know, hiding behind the skin of the chicken.
Absolutely.
If you notice that when the chicken loses feather, it takes a longer while before it grows back.
Exactly.
So that means it has like an anti-aging.
Yes. Yes, that's actually
you
a
know.
good point.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So there we go.
Yeah, I might want to use my hand.
And at some point you will use your hand, I'm sure of that. The good part is the inner side isn't as hot as the outer part would be.
Yeah.
However, I'm just wondering, what's that second style you said you were going to do?
As the cube, this dicing. Okay. So we actually use a chest for that. A chest, like the chicken breast.
Chicken breast,
yes. Yeah. So that one is actually okay for that.
Okay.
But for this, you can make it a shredded chicken.
So it depends on what you want to do. So if you're the type who likes your cubes matching with your vegetables, you might want to consider using chicken breast to achieve the cubes, okay? All right, so we'll continue with the cooking process. At the end of the show, of course, our guests will get to try out what we've been making this morning. We'll take a break. You're watching Wake Up Nigeria. Just stay with us.
Thank you so much for staying with us. Yet another beautiful Monday, and we have motivation, of course. And this morning we have with us returning Dr. Francis Adesina, now the founder of Mind Factory, a human transformational platform with a mission to champion a community of African next action leaders, entrepreneurs, creators, and tech inventors. Today we are discussing the power of the mind. Now, bending realities and doing the impossible. Welcome back, Mr. Francis.
Thank you so much, Winfrey. Thank you for having me again.
Of course, it's great having you here. I mean, I can remember our last conversation, definitely very insightful, very mind-opening, right? We spoke about vision, we spoke about focus, concentration,
awareness, and willpower.
I got it, and willpower, yes, that's the fourth one. And today we're talking about the power of the mind. Now tell me, what really can we say? The power of the mind now, can it be quantified?
It's infinite.
It's infinite?
Yeah.
Okay.
It cannot be.
It cannot be quantified because, I mean, a lot of people speak about the human brain.
Yeah.
Right? And how, okay, we literally just use a very tiny fraction, even no matter how long you live. So does that have anything to do with the power of the mind which you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, today we'll be talking about bending realities, how to bend realities and do the impossible.
Okay.
If that will happen, it means your mind is so powerful, it has more content required to do the impossible or to surmount limitations.
Yeah. Okay. So now walk me through this process, right? Because a lot of people believe, some people say, Sarah, whatever will be. Some people believe that, okay, you know what, you're born in this world. You're born into a system. Just let you play by the rules and roll along, right? However, some people, which I believe, some school of thought, which I believe one of which you belong to, believe that, I mean, we're here to alter realities.
Exactly.
Now, so to walk me through the process of bending realities.
The first thing you need to do is to believe in yourself. Believe that you are more. Okay. Believe that you cannot be limited by what you can see.
Okay.
You know, I used to say that open eyes are useless when the mind is blind. So open eyes figures out the limitation.
Okay.
But the eyes of the mind see beyond the limitation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So on screen, right, we literally had an image of a man attempting to push an elephant.
Yeah.
Right? So now, in that reality,
Yeah.
you both know we cannot literally equate the energy that the elephant possesses to that which the man possesses, right? So now,
Thinking.
Yeah, what mode of thinking or what level do you have to get your mind to literally defy that kind of
Limitation.
obvious limitation?
Like I said, the first, you need to believe that there will always be a way out.
Okay.
There will always be a way out.
Okay. Okay.
That sets your mind to think. What is thinking? Thinking is just your ability to convert thoughts into what can be tangible outside your mind.
Okay. Okay.
Humans should have that mindset that things happen inside out, not outside in.
Okay.
It means whatsoever we see today comes from within.
All right.
Before we can see it outside.
Outside.
That throw pillow is somebody's idea. Is a precept, an original thought.
True.
So your ability to now create an original thought that defiles what is outside is the first stage.
Okay.
But before you can do that, you need to have that belief that you can.
Okay. Okay.
Then the second level is focusing on how that thought can now become a reality. So how do you do that? The next thing you do after believing, after having that mindset, is your ability to now reposition yourself to be comfortable with the uncomfortable that will play out.
Okay, so now when you speak about that, do you speak about that physically or mentally? The conditioning?
Both.
Okay, okay.
First of all, you condition yourself within mentally that there's a barrier. It won't be easy.
It won't be easy, okay. It won't be
but
comfortable.
I'll pay the price to get it done.
Okay, 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 okay. So is there another step after that?
Another step after that, linking it back to what we did
last week. Yes.
After focusing on the problem, the next thing is convert that focus into concentration. And one of those things we talked about last Monday is that every goal will drag you into a learning process.
This is very true. So it's like a revolving circle. So it keeps on
revolving-
going. So there's no end points.
Exactly.
Okay, okay.
So it drags you into that learning process because every impossibility is a conclusion of the wretchedness of ignorance. It is the...
Say that again.
Every impossibility is the conclusion of the wretchedness of ignorance.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay, okay. Please break it down.
Yes,
Break
it simply
down.
means every impossibility is a conclusion of what you don't know. Because if you know better,
True,
you will do better.
That's actually something I actually always say. If you know better, you
do better.
Okay.
So every impossibility is a symptom of your ignorance. Every limitation is the end of what you know. So your ability to now prepare to now say, okay, what do I need to know?
What do I need to know
Exactly.
to literally get through this or to achieve what is
this.
before me? Okay, so we actually have handled 4 levels of the processes.
Yeah.
So I think there are 2 others.
The next after concentration is awareness.
Awareness. Okay, okay, okay.
So your focus that is beyond that limitation, for example, going back to the elephant. Okay, maybe we should just use that elephant.
Yes.
And let's just imagine that you want to eat the elephant.
Okay.
The truth is you can't swallow the elephant.
You can't.
So your ability to now break that into little bits is like cutting down a big tree. Maybe your focus or your vision is to bring down that tree. And you have a little axe. The truth is, when you break down that process, imagine an axe, and you go into every day, you use the axe maybe 3 strikes.
Yes, yes.
If you continue daily, you break the tree down.
You will break the tree down.
You understand?
Yeah.
So coming from the place of concentration that leads to learning, and learning can come in 2 ways. It's either you go out studying,
yes,
or you get a mentor that have eaten an elephant before, or something similar.
Okay.
So as you do this, imagine it's a long-term goal.
Yes.
You reduce it into routine. What can I do daily that will make me achieve this? For example, I want to read 2 books within 3 weeks.
Yes.
How many chapters will I read?
I need to read?
How can I break it down daily?
Yeah.
So cutting it into bits, like cutting your elephants into little bits, will make you eat the elephant.
Elephants, yeah, faster. Thank you so much, Mr. Adeshino. I wish there was more time, but there's no time. But thankfully, you'll be here again next week, and we'll definitely continue the conversation. And that's all we have for motivation.
It's Monday, and of course, you know, it's SME. We've got Agnes Obi, the visionary creative director of Peaches Apparels, an African fashion brand that seamlessly merges style and comfort for the modern woman. It is great to have you. Welcome. When you say the modern woman, what do you mean by the modern woman?
Well, women who want to look chic, yet presentable to the public.
And that is what you're wearing. You're wearing your brand.
Exactly.
Wonderful. Now, you've been in business, like you mentioned to me earlier, for about 4 years. How did this all start for you?
Well, for me, it started as a hobby. Then from a hobby, it started, it transitioned to love. Then from love, passion. Now, from that passion, I had to find a way to make this look creative. So it doesn't just end within me, but I should be able to, you know, share what I have made with the public. And that was how it all started.
If you weren't making money from this, would you still be doing it?
Of course, I will. Definitely. I definitely will. Growing up, I had struggle finding pieces that would actually suit my kind of body type. So that was where the thought of making dresses for myself came from. So I woke up one day, I said to myself, okay, I like this piece, because I was scrolling through Instagram. I was like, I like this piece, but how can I get it immediately? Because sometimes you visit a store, and then that's an online store, and then they tell you, oh, it's available for delivery, but then it takes about 4 to 5 days. Now, what if I have an occasion that I need to attend, like ASAP? What do I do?
I need it this evening, I need it tomorrow morning.
I know, right? So that was one of the reasons I had to like say, okay, you know what? This hobby of mine, let me take it serious. And then, voila, I closed my eyes one day, watched the YouTube tutorial, and...
Did you have to take any sort of course to transition into being commercially viable, you know, because, you know, doing something for a hobby is quite different when it's now business. And
yes.
Business has its challenges, its concomitant challenges. How have you been able to maneuver the business terrain and, you know, conquer the challenges, as it were, that have come your way so far?
Well, just as any business out there, for entrepreneurs, it's not different. The challenges are constant. It's like an everyday thing. So I didn't learn any course. I didn't take, in fact, I am a self-taught fashion designer. Oh. And most of the things I've actually done in life were mostly self-taught. So for this particular one, I had to learn on the business. Yes. So every day is like a learning curve for me. And whatever it is I learn, I try to make amends and then, you know, put the experience back into the business.
So what's the setup? You have maybe tailors or seamstresses or something that work with you. Do you design the clothes yourselves? Do you sew yourselves? How do you set up?
Okay, when I first started, now I was wearing so many hats. By that, I sourced the fabrics myself. I made the dresses myself. Ooh, and yes, this one I'm wearing particularly, I'm proud to say that I made it myself.
I like it.
Thank you.
And it's not so... You know, but I love it. I love
yeah.
it.
So one of the things we try to do with our pieces is to make sure we elevate it from what you would assume to be a regular piece to something much more fashionable. Like what I am wearing right now, if you take a closer look, you would see that it has stones.
Yes,
now, for a woman who would like to updress this, you can literally wear this anywhere. And if you have a formal location, of course, this would definitely fly for it. And then if you want to go for an occasion that is not, you know, over the top, but you can dress down just so that you fit and blend into whatever place you find yourself.
So when we were doing all of this at the start, and then of course, you had to go bigger, and then you had to delegate.
Yes.
How was that part of the business? When it came to delegation, how were you able to
It
manage
wasn't easy. First of all, sourcing for manpower, that's the fashion designers, was very difficult.
Look, growing up, we always know, when it comes to tailors, if you want a cloth tomorrow, you tell the tailor that you wanted it 3 weeks ago.
Exactly.
There's a challenge with all of that, so it's not so easy. How have you been able,
It's not very
to get
easy.
staff and, staff that, because I know people who have been in fashion, and one of the things is, you're going, you get a staff, you're going, and then after a while, in fact, there was this particular person I know who had a staff who was diverting her madam's, business to her personal own. So when they come and do, she would do it and, just turn out the money as though maybe go somewhere else, sew the thing and do all of that.
That's one of the high risk that comes with the fashion business. So with our brand, we try not to micromanage our designers, but then again, you find that even the ones that are passionate about the business often have dubious intentions. So when you find out, it costs a lot for the brand. Overhead cost increases because if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing for the brand, you're definitely affecting production. So we've had series of occasions where we've had to lay off designers, but then business has to keep going. So what we do is we try to have a supervisor on ground to ensure that everyone needs to do what they need to do, but not necessarily putting their eyes on them.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so another struggle we actually experience in the fashion line, in the absence of, scaling the brand, which is supposed to be constant for the business.
That's scaling, that upscaling,
yes,
that can be.
it's often finance sculpting, I must say, because even if you scale within the country, the desire to grow beyond your environment increases. You want to be known abroad, but then you have to first beat the challenge of the country. So for us right now, we're trying our best to, get established within Nigeria. And one of the constraints that we've had in that regard, in the absence of course, manpower, which is fashion designers, it's getting your products from point A to point B. Now, yes, logistics. Now, you don't only have the problem with the fashion designers, but the logistics is also another headache. And considering how the government policy in Nigeria continues to evolve, it's not financially cost-effective for us to say, okay, we want to have stationed riders here and there so that they can easily dispatch or deliver these items, because they often have their own personal intents. And that, at the end of the day, hurts the brand. But thankfully, we've been able to find very reliable courier company that helps us to manage this aspect of the business. Thus far.
How do you deal? Have you ever had negative feedback?
Well, that is, funny enough, that is one thing Peaches Apparels, that's Peach with the ES, double ES. We take pride in that. Now, feedback, customer service is actually top-notch for us. Like, we take it to heart. In the presence of serving quality pieces, affordable pieces, we ensure that the feedback is positive. Now, let's say, for instance, a customer wants a particular item and then she has paid for it, and then maybe for some reason we're unable to deliver. We don't give you hassle. If we cannot live up to the delivery, we refund. Now, some vendors find it difficult to do that.
That's big. I've talked to a number of people. You see, you go to Instagram and some boldly put it on their bio, no, or profile, no refund. And I'm like, that's a red flag. Right?
Yes. So for us, because we've actually run into situations where customers would receive an item and they would rock it to whatever events that they want to go to and then return it. Yeah, so we have a return policy of 24 hours. So we've had a case where a customer returned an item and then it was reeking of their cologne. Now, that's not very good. So those are one of the issues we record as losses in the business. But it comes by once in a while.
That time frame, if you're given a 24-hour time frame, or maybe even less, so that you check it. If it's not enough,
yes.
when you bring it back, don't carry it, go to a party and all of that.
Yes.
Final words, when it comes to Peaches Apparel, what is that thing that makes you stand out, that USP, the unique selling point?
Okay, so for us, it is just putting, we actually specialize in making comfortable throw-on pieces that are stylish for women between the ages of 30 to 55. Now, these pieces come very affordably for everyday women. Now, it doesn't matter with your size, your body type. Once you wear it, you look sweet and ready to go. And like I said, we lay emphasis on the type of pieces we put out there. They are often pleasant and, of course, very attractive for your everyday wear.
Wonderful. I hopefully when they wear your dresses, they look the same way that you look now.
I hope so.
It's great.
All right.
Hold on.
Thank you so much.
So it's a breakfast show. We have breakfast. Do you mind?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind.
All right. Okay, so of course, Mary has been hard at work putting something together. Let's head over to the kitchen.
Okay. All right.
Welcome to the kitchen. Chef Dotun, aka Chef Alamin, has made breakfast for us this morning. And breakfast is, tell us. Okay, no, don't worry, let me tell you. Let me tell you what breakfast is.
Okay.
So what we have here is stir-fried rice with chicken, shredded chicken. Yeah. So shredded stir-fried chicken with rice, of course. Okay, so I'd like you vegetable rice. Yeah. So dig in, please.
Okay.
Dig in.
All right.
I really want to have your feedback on this because a lot of work, a lot of love
went into it.
Okay. So let's see how it
goes.
Affects your taste buds. No pepper.
You were right. It's not spicy, but it's very tasty.
Oh.
Very
I did
tasty.
most of the work.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm glad to know you're enjoying it. The chicken is well spiced.
Yes,
too.
well spiced.
Well done, Agnes. And big shout out to your business. And
thank you.
You know, as you go higher and all that.
Thank you so much.
Right. That's been the show, the size of the show today. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye. Bye.